Hello, I'm Bryce Journey, and for this tutorial, I thought I'd switch it up a little bit and do something different. So one of my favorite superheroes is Spider-Man, and one of his most infamous villains is Venom. So I figured I'd show you kind of how to draw his head, and this is a very simple tutorial that anyone could do. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is kind of make like a crosshatch, or like, you know, a big plus. And I'll kind of show you how to do that right now. So you kind of want to add some curvature to it. Right there. Now when you're doing this, you're going to always try to make a little plus. It's pretty much like a plus, and you try to curve, you're trying to want to curve this side right here. And you're going to want to try and make this side, this top one, longer than the rest, because this is going to be the top of your head. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is trying to connect the whole thing together and try and make a little bit of an oval shape. And that's probably going to look something like this. So now we have the base circle, which is pretty much just the top of his head. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding like a jawline to it. And that's just an extra pretty much loop, or a big kind of, you know, swoop under his neck. Alright, now that we have our jawline, we are actually now going to connect it with the rest of his face. And what we're going to do is actually just make another pretty much loop, and we're going to connect it with this side right here. We're going to connect it, and we're going to basically be making the rest of his mouth right now. So let's get into that. Okay, so now that we have his mouth kind of all shapened out, we can now connect it with the rest of the top of the head. And that's honestly just erasing a couple lines and, you know, making it all look a little bit nicer. Now that we added the mouth to the rest of the face, we are going to start adding in the tongue, and then after that we'll start adding in some teeth too around it. Alright, now that we have all the teeth put in, let's start adding in the eyes and finishing this thing up. Alright, so now that we have the entire thing pretty much done, the last thing to do is to add a little bit more to the eyes. These eyes look still a lot like Spider-Man's, and we need to make them look more like Venom's. And that's pretty much adding like these like black tendrils almost going into the eyes, like they got crusted and stuck in there. Alright, and this is what it's going to kind of look like when it's all said and done. And I'm going to just continue that on to the next eye. And you don't have to make them look the same, you can kind of make it look mixed up and even messier than what I'm doing. Alright, so now that I have all the steps done, I'm going to start adding a little bit more detail to the picture and try and get it a little more realistic. So yeah, this is the whole thing. If you want to, you can add more or whatever you want to this. It's really a simple tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoy. See you later.